AI isn't true AI yet. I feel like we've all been kind of duped a little bit, and certainly common kind of thoughts about AI is that it's doing a great job of thinking through our problems, but it isn't. It's just pattern recognition and predictive text, essentially. Sure, it's a very sophisticated version of that, but essentially it's just guessing what word or what sentence will come next based on everything that humans have already written. And what I'm worried about is, what about when it starts learning based on what AI has already written? Anyway, last year I actually made a really short clip which never made it into anything, where I just said the simple point that AI is derivative and humans are creative. And it was kind of like meant to be, I don't know, a bit optimistic that actually humans will still of course be necessary in creative tasks, because people think that their writing jobs or their acting jobs are going to be taken by AI. Well, they're not. Certainly not AI as it currently is, because it's currently just using what we've already done and sort of giving us its best guess of what we'd do in the same situation. And I've noticed this a fair bit in my teaching career, because, well, when I ask it to solve a physics question, it often gets the answer way wrong, because it really does struggle with that math. I know that OpenAI's new O4 model is going to actually be way better at solving complex problems. They say up to PhD level, which is fabulous news. So I should be better off using that in my physics lessons at school. But still, it's just going to be using this derivative algorithm of what we've already done and predicting what to say next. If I can find that clip, I'll pop it here. AI is derivative and humans are creative. And it was interesting to see in Mark Zuckerberg's conversation with Cleo Abraham that he said if you could get people to understand one thing about AI, it's this point that it isn't truly intelligent yet. It is just predicting what to say based on what it's been trained on. But then he certainly was very optimistic about how quickly the AI is going to advance. And the things that I've actually found to use AI, I use it every single day in my work now. The things that I've found to actually use it are just going to get easier and better quality. You'll have seen that I use it for my thumbnails, and well, I sometimes do use it to take rough notes into completion, and I certainly use it as a voice transcriber. But of course there's the problem that those voice transcriptions, the AI versions, they do sometimes hallucinate. And sometimes I read them and I'm like, I definitely didn't say that. That isn't something that I would say. Not just not in those words, but that's not what I was talking about. So that's certainly very promising. And I remember one meeting where we had this whole conversation and the chair was jotting down notes with no thought whatsoever that I was going to do this afterwards. But I said, here, hand me that note. I'll get a write-up for you really quickly. I took a photo of it with 4.0 on my phone, and 4.0 turned it into a piece of writing, a summary of the discussion that we'd had. And yep, I had to read it through and check that it was actually correct. And sure enough, it did get one or two things the wrong way around. Like the detail was there, but it was like the negative of what we'd actually said, if that makes sense. So yeah, as long as you're still checking, then that was incredibly useful. And it saved that chairperson a whole hour probably of going through that and typing it up. So sure, the AI can generate text, it can generate images, it can give you some video to insert as B-roll, for instance, here. But it is not the case that adding an AI button to every new piece of hardware or software that we get at the moment is an actual panacea. And well, I'd be really curious to know how you guys are using AI in your work life, and whether you find it useful or not, and where you see the future going in the next few years.